Hey, hey, hey. Happy day. Hashtag Health, Wealth, Life, day 81. Can you believe it? Are you still sticking with your New Year's resolutions? Are you? If yes, say yes in the comment box. Let me know. I'm interested. I wonder how many people are actually committed and sticking to their New Year's resolutions. We're 81 days into the new year. They're not so new anymore. It's 81 days old. All right, so are you still sticking to them? Let me know. What's the number one thing you've learned this year? What's an insight that you've gained? Maybe it's from someone else or you discovered it yourself. Let me know. Pop it in the comment box. Share. So we can all learn from each other. If we learn from our own mistakes, it's great, and we don't make the same mistakes again. That's not being stupid, but if we can learn from others, we can speed up that process, right? So what's the number one skill you've learned? What's the number one thing you've learned from Health, Wealth, Life so far? Pop it in. Let me know. Is it lifestyle? Is it exercise, nutrition, supplementation? What's going on? And what's the next skill you want to learn? What's the number one skill that you want to pick up next? Maybe it's presenting. Maybe it's doing videos. Maybe it's communication of some kind. Maybe it's digital work. Maybe it's website. Maybe it's improving a skill set. Maybe it's improving your lift in the gym. What is it? Let me know. Pop it in the box. Pop it in the box. So today we're talking about muscle and thought. So I like those two things. I like to put those together. Talk a lot about mindset, and obviously I think it's very important, vital, that we have good quality muscles on the body. The more muscle and strength you have, the more longevity, the longer you'll live for. That's a fact. And the stronger you are, the longer you'll live for. So Arnie, Claudette and Alicia, welcome aboard. Glad you're here. I'm a little bit earlier today, so might catch a few of you, might lose a few of you, but we'll do what we can. See you soon. From your channel, lots. Consistency, great. Consistency is key if we want to achieve anything. We can be crap at something when we first start. As long as we're consistent, keep going, we can get better at it. That's the beauty of being alive, being a human, right? So Arnie come up with a thought, right? When he was training, he put your brain in the muscle when you're doing the workout, and you focus on that muscle that you're working, and it actually gives a better pump to the muscle. You get more activation of the muscle. So you get a better workout and therefore get more from your workouts. All right, so I want to talk about thoughts are like muscles. So thoughts are like muscles. And how do you grow something? How do you grow anything? How do you grow a muscle? Let's stay there. So how do you grow a muscle? You work it with good technique, with repetition. So for instance, bicep, you know how to do a bicep curl, you bend at the elbow, lift the weight from a straight arm to a bent arm, right? And you repeat that movement, and you do that with different resistance, so against a bigger challenge. And that's the same with thoughts. So when you come up against a challenge and your goal is being blocked, there's a hurdle in the way of your goal, something's not gone right, something's broken, that's part of building that resistance. And if we can just reframe that, we can actually use those hurdles and those issues to strengthen our thoughts, just the way we strengthen muscles in the gym. So it's exactly the same way, in my opinion, that we can strengthen muscles and build muscles as we can strengthen thoughts and build those thoughts. Are you with me? So give me a thumbs up if you understand that, if that makes sense. All right, understands, cool, whatever you want to acknowledge that. And of course, always, give me a thumbs up and a share. Sharing is caring. So, remember, and when we start this process out, remember the first time you drove your car, or you tried to ride a motorbike, or the first time you went to the gym, or the first time you played a sport. Remember that. That was tough, right? And you thought, I don't know what I'm doing, don't know if I'm doing it right, but you carried on, and that's the way we built up. And that's exactly the same way we've got to take our body transformation and our mind transformation. Similar process. And when you can get them both going at the same time, you're on to a winner. So how do we change thoughts? How do we change thoughts? I'm going to give you 3 steps on how to change those thoughts and build those thoughts into stronger muscle thoughts. So remember the question I said the other day, what do you do personally if you feel like if you get to the point, I don't feel like exercising today? And some people said, I just tell myself, get on with it, you pussy, right? But sometimes that muscle thought, I come up with the concept or the idea of muscle thought. I hadn't heard it before. If I had, it's subconscious, but anyway, it's a good terminology because they're just muscling a thought over the top of other thoughts. And if it's strong enough, it will overpower the other thoughts. If it's not, the stronger thoughts will always take hold and come back in. You'll be like, nah, you can have the day off. And that's a stronger thought for most people. So we need to build up the thoughts that we want to be stronger in our lives. How do we do that? I'm going to give you 3 steps. So 3 steps. First is brain train, and I suggest do this first thing in the morning. Catch your brain early doors and tell it where you want it to go. Okay, so brain train in the morning. So get the habit and the pattern into your technique in the morning. So you sit maybe in the same place, sit really upright so you don't fall asleep, and you count yourself in. I've given you a technique on this. Check out my meditation video, or my brain training video, I should call it. And have the same technique, because it strengthens the pattern, it strengthens your state and being able to get in that state. When you've done that 50, 60, 100 times, then it's really strong. The way you count yourself in, you're in really quick, and you can count yourself out the same way. So have a count in, have a count out, and have a pattern in that middle part. And I've given you an idea on that, and we'll go over that again another time. So that's number one. Brain train first thing in the morning. Get your brain going in the direction you want it to go in. You choose, not at the whim of something happens or someone else. Okay, number two, write the thoughts down. So it's really important you write them out. It's been studied, it's been shown, it's been proven that when you write your goals down, it makes them more real in your brain and to be solid and solidify. I'm going to move around. So write them down, write your goals down, and carry them around with you. So take a Post-it note. You've seen my goals, maybe you've seen them. I've written them down. I've done them for 410 days in a row now. And I write them down and I carry them around in my pocket. Not the whole lot, but like I carry about 40 with me. So I've got a good handful in my pocket. And when I touch them, I remember I've written them every day. And that's powerful. So you can write the same thing until you reach that goal, and then you write a new goal. Okay, so write them down, and that helps clarify your goals as well into words that you can share with other people, and they can clearly understand it. It's not just rattling around in your brain. So write it down and carry it around with you, and do that every day. Number three is before you go to bed, and I love this one, this is a great one, we should give our idle minds or our recurring minds, recovering minds in the night, we should give our brain something to think about. So before you go to bed, write a question down that leads powerfully towards your goals or your desires. Okay, so an example is, what can I do to get in the best physical shape of my life? What can I do to get in the best physical shape of my life? Allow your brain to come up with some answers in your sleep. You might have some interesting dreams. Another one is that I've been writing recently is, how can I positively impact the most amount of people tomorrow? How can I positively impact the most amount of people tomorrow? So write the question that leads to your goal, and that will build it over time. So perfect practice makes perfect. Imperfect practice means you're just practicing perfectly and you're strengthening that imperfection. So we need to practice perfectly. It's very important that you get the words right, the language right, and you get the flow right for you. So thoughts are like muscles, and we can choose which ones we want to build, right? We can choose that, and it's exactly the same. And the reason why we do this is because, you know, if our thoughts take over and take us on a downward spiral, we don't get to the gym. We don't get to train. And I see this stop a lot of people. Or we have a shit workout. It's no good. So let's strengthen the right thoughts, strengthen the thoughts that take us in the direction we want to go. And that's how we do it. So just to recap, how do we strengthen those thoughts? One, first thing in the morning, brain train. Take yourself through that brain training in the morning. Direct your brain where you want it to go. Number two, write them down. Carry them around with you. Post-it note is excellent for that. Number three, before you go to bed, write a question out that leads to your desired goal. That's it. 1, 2, 3, bang. Right? If you want to take anything in your life, any area, you have to start with a thought. Thoughts, words, emotions, action. That's where it all begins. So that's the power of it. And that's where we start at the root, and then we can affect the rest of our lives. Okay, do me one favor and just write down the main thing that stood out to you in this video, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching as a recording, doesn't matter. Write in the comment box for me the number one thing that stood out for you from this video, something that you picked up. One little thing, two little things, however many things you want to write down. Do that for me as a favor. Okay, so I'm just going to finish with this. If you want to have the biggest impact for the littlest amount of effort, there's one step that you can be taking and you can start this week, and I'll be able to share that with you, happy to share that with you. It's the biggest thing that you could do with the easiest, littlest step, the littlest amount of effort. It's a shotgun approach, and you're going to have so much benefit from it. If you want that, type tip in the comment box, type TIP tip, and I will send that across to you. I'll get that across straight away. All right, have an amazing rest of the day. Take care of yourself and everyone around you. A little bit earlier today because I've got meetings, so be exciting to see where they lead. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow might be about 4:30 again. If you can't watch live, then watch as a recording. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and remember, happy is a skill that you can learn, and this is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health wealth. Let's take the world with us. See you tomorrow, guys.